Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the PUBG Mobile Global Championship Scrims stream, organized by the wonderful Sakumai, streamed and casted by myself, ImPERium. And what do you believe? I'm up on time, I'm energized, I've got coffee in my hand, and I'm ready to bring you the insane action that we have in front of us. 18 teams are going to be in these scrims. I'm going to run down the list of teams that are playing in tonight's games. We have 4 games for you guys. You can see the list of teams that are playing in the stream description, and they are scrolling across the bottom of the stream. There are going to be no score updates in between each game. The scoring is not being done today, but that's okay. Doesn't take away from the insane action it's going to be coming down. I hope you're all having an absolutely fantastic and safe day, evening, night, wherever you are. Thank you so much for tuning into the stream. Feel free to, of course, share it. Feel free to let everybody know that this is happening and they want to tune in. Why the hell not? So, of course, to give you a list of teams, we have Aerowolf Limax, we have RRQ Gaming, we have Blue Bees, we have DRS Gaming, we have Godsent, we have Power888, we have Abrupt Slayers, we have Alpha7 Esports, we have 4 Angry Men, we have Klas Digital Athletics, we have Zeus Esports, we have A1 Esports, we have Elites United Team, we have Execute, we have Futbolist, NAVI, RRQ, and we have Team Secret. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Just wait. Just asking questions. So yeah, that is your list of teams that are going to be playing. I don't know if this music is a little bit too loud. I don't know if it's just too loud for me, but I'm going to turn it down a little bit. But either way, yeah. And the map order that we have, again, the map order is, of course, in the description. We have Erangel, Vikendi, Miramar, and then ending on the jungle grounds of Sanhok. We're going to be getting into his first game very soon, as I just pour the hot water into my coffee to heat it up. Hope you all have been enjoying the PUBG Mobile Global Championship so far. Much love and respect to everybody that's supporting, every team that's playing. Whether you're winning or losing, at the end of the day, you've gotten to a stage where you are in amongst the top 24 teams in the whole world, and you've represented your country, you've represented your region with extreme pride, and nothing can realistically take that away, despite how good or bad you might perform in the PMGC games. I've personally been loving the games. It is a bit of a slow start for the players who join the room. It's a little bit of a feels bad, man. I was asking something about the room code, just about the room, should I say, and I just got given an answer. So yeah, anyway guys, yeah, I'm definitely excited to see, you know, so it's important that these teams, of course, still continue to play the scrims, because not only is it practice in terms of in some way learning a little bit more about yourself, but you're also practicing in terms of fights. You're maybe learning a little bit more about the other teams. There's always something to extract from scrims, even though pretty much all the teams don't take it super seriously, which you shouldn't take scrims super seriously, but you should take the aspect of learning something in scrims in a serious way, right? You should be able to recognize if you're, let's say, engaging on an enemy, and as a team, your communication is really bad in that moment, you got to recognize that as, hey, I know these are just scrims. We're not taking it seriously, but communication, that wasn't really good. We need to improve, you know? Because you don't want to make those mistakes when it really matters in the PUBG Mobile Global Championship. Oh, no. Oh, man. Okay. I think there's been a bit of a... I think my emulator, the room on my emulator has frozen up, so I'm going to have to see... It will let me back in. If not, I'm going to have to, of course, use my other source. Little bit of a frustrating start, nonetheless. Sorry about this, guys. But either way, we're going to be getting into the game in the next minute or so. As I just see what I can do to get this sorted. Sorry, I'm just trying to sort this out. I think I'll keep it like that. Well, actually, I don't think it's going to let me into the room. So we're going to be starting in the next 28 seconds or so. And then I'll just switch over to the right image. Nope. Yeah, just like I thought. Okay. No problem. We have this, guys. Okay, so we are into the first game. Let me just turn this music off. Let's switch the scene as I bring you the action of game one of these scrims, organized by Sakumai and of course streamed and casted by myself. We see playing path that is relatively on the eastern side of the map, so it is going to make it a little bit harder to access drop spots on the western side of the map. It's going to be pretty easy for the likes of Futbolist to grab Novo, for Aerowolf to head to military base. Power888 will go to Milta Power. That's to be expected. Godsent on that farm area, because I know that BTR aren't playing, Kanina Power aren't playing in these scrims, so they're going to have that area to themselves. Bluebees going over to Lipovka because the eastern side is relatively unchallenged. And then, as normal, like we've kind of seen at times in these scrims, is 4 Angry Men and DRS Gaming are going to be challenging each other in towards Yasnaya. Rozhok seems like it's going to be a little bit of a hotbed of action as I do bring on over to that area. Team Secret will go to Watertown. It's Zeus and Alpha7, which I'm definitely keeping an eye on. NAVI will drop down, grab a vehicle, and make their way towards Nova. DRS and 4 Angry Men, they're going to kick things off against each other. We have seen Hisaki getting knocked down with a pistol, but is going to be returned relatively quickly. Bot gets onto 33 Svan. Suk is going to get confirmed down. It seems like the advantage in the early parts of this fight is going over in the favor of DRS Gaming, the Dumpali side. Kicking things off in style. It leaves just Zingy left standing for 4 Angry Men. Up the stairs of the building he goes. Gonna chuck out of smoke, try and create a little bit more space for himself. The knockdowns that did come through onto the members of DRS. Oh, the knockdown's gonna come out. Zingy's gonna confirm that kill. Why did you go in on your own, Zingy? Why did you go in on... Sorry, why did you go in on your own, DRS? Why did you go in on your own? A little bit of a poor mistake. And he's gonna be going upstairs on his own. I just need to switch it on over to him in time. Oh my lord. There you go. Bingo. So I'm gonna keep on the perspective of Zingy. He is able to pick up an Uzi and a UMP. DRS need to learn from this and not send one player in at once. You have to have the full squad. Another smoke being chucked out by Zingy to try and create a little bit more space. Door's going to get closed up by DRS. Matter of time. Or really, Zingy is going to go down. You got 3 players in one building against 1 player. It's not going to be easy. I really don't want to switch over. I know there's a fight going on between Alpha7 and Zeus. But I want to see DRS come out on top, especially considering they didn't qualify for the second Super Weekend. This is an opportunity for them to regain a little bit of confidence. But AJ goes in on his own. He does get knocked, but luckily, Nima is going to respond very quickly to get the squad wipe onto 4 angry men. They've been eliminated pretty early on in this game. Then looking over between Zeus and Alpha7. Alpha7 have been getting the better of DRS Gaming. It is just Satoru, should I say, left standing for Zeus. He did chuck out a smoke, but he has Vitu 2K on the same side of Rozhok as himself. That's why he chucked out a couple of smokes to try and cover the off angles. He is still going to be pinched inside that building, so I don't know if he can disengage away. It's still not going to be easy. Molotov is going to be chucked out by Vitu 2K to try and reposition Satoru. And that's going to be him taken out. That's the end of Zeus Gaming. 2 teams off the bat have been taken out. Phase 1. Oh, baby. Phase 1 is going to be a military circle. Is it going to end in military island? This is the start to game 1. We want to see Execute up in North George, Navi down in South George. It makes sense for them to split up and not go for one side of Nova for both teams and just mutually respect each other in that sense. It's going to be a tricky rotation for both teams, to be honest, to kind of make their way across onto the island. We see A1 Esports, the Bangladesh team, who did qualify for the second Super Weekend. Much love to you guys. Are going to make their way over towards the coastal line by the Western Bridge early on. The circle's starting to close in on this phase 1. So it's important that you get a little bit of core information. Because here's the thing. Even though, the phase 1 circle is inside Military Island and it's well inside Military Island, there's still a good bit of that mainland in play. So it could shift up north on phase 2. It's not guaranteed to be a Military Island circle. Godsent looking to camp around the Eastern Bridge on the opposite side. Of course, being aware that Futbolists normally do like to land in Nova, they would add easy access, and they will be, of course, thinking about a team, maybe even 2 teams, making their way across. A1, they send Dante over halfway across the bridge. Well, 2/3 of the way across the bridge. Shots are being taken over into RRQ, who did make their way over onto the island relatively early. They have been D2E being chunked down to a little bit of health. But other than that, it's more the fact that RQ only starting as 3 players. Here's the thing, though. Do A1 know that? They might. They might have seen the room. As Ginny from A1 is left on his own as senior with the M24 shots. Popping off, trying to look for the head of Ginny as the smokes are going to be chucked out. Ginny is going to look to try and disengage away from this. Looking at how other teams are trying to possibly rotate. Power AAA, they could make that boat rotation from Mill to Power. It would be pretty strong for them to pull that off. The reason why is because Futbolists aren't going to commit to staying in Novo. They aren't. They're always going to look to catch a team out on the Eastern Bridge rather than catch a team out on Novo. That's, in my experience, in my opinion, and Power AAA should be thinking the same thing. Blue Bees now pushing their way down from Lipovka over onto the shelter prison hillside overlooking Milta. Get a little bit of early information as they maybe stop before the Eastern Bridge to make sure that they're prepared to take any kind of fight. Futbolists are gatekeeping Godsent. Godsent are, of course, okay where they are as of right now. There's still a lot of teams outside the circle. Digital Athletics, who dropped in Severny, are going to make their way down and towards the edge of the north side of the river. As Alpha7, grabbing 3 kills early on, are going to be continuing to loot up Rozhok. Do you see Archer Gamings are surrounding Alpha7? Catches Outlaw to grab a kill for their side. Nice by Anonix. Now is going to turn his attention over onto Silas. Just chuck down Silas to just about 10 health, but I think Silas will be relatively okay as Vitu2K is going to get knocked out by Fabian. Nice play by Archer, to be honest. Nice spread across the Rozhok hills and the edge of Rozhok to really kind of catch out a napping Alpha7. A Swagoon is going to also take a couple of shots onto the hands of Archer. As the blue zone does hit the area, we are seeing 3 teams now inside this phase 1 blue zone. It's only phase 1, it's not going to do too much damage. Definitely curious to see where phase 2 is going to shift on towards, if it's going to stay in Military Island to make it a little bit harder possibly for these teams, or shift north onto the mainland. Ansu finds Silas. Silas is going to get knocked down. Ansu is going to be on his own, but he's going to get knocked down in return. Couldn't do too much about that, to be honest. It was the whole of the Digital Athletics team converging in that one area. That's the risk of a spread that you make for yourself. At least Fabian and Seung, along with Inonix, can still do something from this area. Phase 2 did shift up and it went down south. There is still a little bit of that mainland in play. Give you a little bit of an update. Abrupt Slayers have made their way onto towards the edge of the mainland by that western bridge. A1 Esports, the Bangladeshi side, is still on the western bridge, yet to go over onto the military island. Power888 are going to join Blue Bees and Godsent on that eastern bridge as Futbolist continue to gatekeep any number of these teams. Godsent aren't really under any threat from Futbolist, because Futbolist aren't really going to engage on Godsent across the bridge. I can't imagine. But they will, of course, have to watch their backs quite closely. And they can't overstep their mark on any kind of engagement onto the likes of Blue Bees or Power888. Lutz, I like Lutz's position onto the coastal line. Hoping to catch out a couple of other teams as Archer, Alpha, and Digital Athletics continue to fight. Execute now making their way away from the northern George Pool area, across towards the ruins train, hills of Pachinki. They are going to come into contact with Team Secret as NAVI is going to be taking a little bit of a fight onto Zute. No, Zute does get away, but Zute is going to feel potential hurt from oh boy, is not able to connect all those shots. Zute was doing a little bit of scouting for his side. He's ahead of the pack, but he's a little bit split up. So the thing is, what is iShots and Team Secret going to do about that? Will they know that's happening as Fameboys is going to have to get out of the buggy? The buggy is smoking up. He's going to have to disengage away, but he gets shot in the back by Shots himself. That's a little bit of a misplay, a misrotation from Fameboys, in my opinion. But Team Secret aren't really going to look to absolutely confirm. They're going to reposition away and join up with Mad Toy. Will that allow Fate to get the revive onto Fameboys? We'll have to wait and see. Swagon does find a kill onto a knock onto one of the Archer players as they are continuing to be separated. DRS are making their way down towards the farm coastal line area, and Godsent are still on this eastern bridge. I will try to... I got a comment of please show players' point of view rather than aerial views and fights ImPERium. I'll try and do that, guys. Matic onto Abrupt Slayers. There is a little bit of a fight down on the western bridge between A1, DRS, and NAVI. Oh boy, does get knocked down onto King, or confirms King, should I say. So Abrupt Slayers are down to 3 players. A1, the only team with a full squad in this kind of situation. Fameboys gets confirmed. NAVI are now... Actually, no, sorry. NAVI are a full squad. They just weren't together as a full squad. But they are looking to surround the members of both A1 and ASL. But Leon finds Tixie. Nice play. Lufa finds Godsent as well on the other side. That eastern bridge fight is going to start to come on. Old boy is going to have to try and disengage away. And now NAVI are down to 3 players. Phase 3, that's a military island finish, my friends. That's a 150% military island finish. Execute, gonna get caught out. Kill switch gets knocked down. It's just realistically Zute that's left standing. He's going to go to the coastal line, try and swim across into the ocean, and hopefully gets unspotted out. Power888 looking for the side of DRS. AJ Nima. Only 2 players up. Mafia Ninja. Knocked down. Nothing they can really do about it right now. Blue Bees on to Godsent. Rokas, under a lot of pressure, going to chuck up a grenade, prone his way down. Nice position coming out from the side of Blue Bees as he continued to put pressure onto Godsent. NAVI was taken out. So it's Rokas and Zuku that's left standing. Zuku's across the way, not going to be able to provide too much support to Rokas. Rokas is going to get knocked down by Mobo. And that's going to leave Godsent with just 1 player. Zuku, he's got really nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, in my honest opinion. Power888 might look to just lead this fight with DRS and try and make their way across, as the Digital Athletics are going to get caught out as well. Abrupt Slayers, you got them being put under pressure by a rotating archers. A lot of teams getting caught out in between the blue zone and the mainland, as that phase 3 military island rotation, or shift should I say, is punishing his 3. Shri is going to get caught out by Fabian. Shots not connecting fully. Fabian is going to have to prone down. He's going to heal himself up as A1 look to push on towards the side of RRQ. A1 lose their first player. Jax. Blue Bees are taking out a number of players, looking to continue their aggressive style in these scrims at least. Ginny, sub-entry. Really nowhere to go. Nowhere to really go. Ginny is going to get knocked down between blue zone and a rotating, pinching Team Secret across the way. A1, you should have pushed your way across a little bit earlier, my friends. A little bit earlier, because there always comes a time when the team is going to be pinching you from both sides if you leave it too late to rotate. Archer might be able to catch out the side of Team Secret, though. We'll have to wait and see. But no, Sanhok is going to get knocked down. That leaves Inonix as the last player up, and he's heading right into the path of Team Secret. He's only got 1 med kit, so he's going to have to utilize that in the best possible way. That's going to come out right now. Now, because he stopped earlier on, will Team Secret be aware that there is still another player? iShots is going to make his way closer towards the rest of his team, further onto the bridges, military island. The next circle to shift up, phase 4. Blue zone damage is looking to chunk their way through these players. D2E from RRQ is still holding onto this area, but now he's going to look to disengage and join up with the rest of his team. Nice play coming out from RRQ, controlling. All the while, Aerowolf, they haven't really had to do anything from where they did drop inside this military island. Futbolists are still up as a full squad. Playzone is claiming victim after victim. DRS, Blue Bees, and Power888 are all down to 1 player each. We did see Godsent go down eventually on the Eastern Bridge terrain. I'm telling you, boat rotation is so valuable. NAVI also kind of, you know, even though Matic has gotten knocked down, give or take, they've gotten across this area pretty quickly as just look to render all this information in. Old boy is going to be prone down, trying to shift from side to side. Wiggle, 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 wiggle as the smokes go out. That is still going to alert the side of RRQ, which is why G9 is flanking around by the side of the rock so you can try and find the shots onto Old boy. Nate's being cooked up. Is that going to be a Kobe? Old boy, I believe, does stand up, or at least looks to try and reposition a tiny bit away. However, at the end of the day, he's out in the open. There's not much he can really do. The blue zone of phase 4 is moving in. G9 and the rest of the RQ side do need to think about moving into the circle, but it's a matter of whether they want to try and close out Old boy. And indeed, that's going to be the case. Navi go down. Senior gets a final blow. We're down to 5 teams. You have Zute holding on for dear life for his execute side, has gotten his way onto the northern part of the circle, but Futbolists are looking to control the northern high ground terrain overlooking the military base. Okay. Doing a little bit of driving, Sunday driving into the open terrain to try and look out for anybody. Zute just stays prone down. We saw what he did in Miramar, right? In the PMGC League days, where he's in the final 3 teams prone down by that tiny little shack and beside the buggy. So Zute is an expert of being one with the terrain and extracting a good result for his side when it really matters, because as much as it's all about the kill points, when you're able to grab those placement points, hey, you know, all the power to you, especially as a one-man army. Final 5 teams: Futbolist, Aerowolf, RRQ, Execute, and Abrupt Slayers. Thing is, does Zute know that Leon is there? Does Leon know that Zute is there? As the phase 4 blue zone closes in, we get into phase 5. There is still plenty of terrain for these teams to get onto. Zute takes a couple of shots. Is going to find Lutz, confirms that kill, catches out the members of Futbolist. But again, you might not know that Leon is there, and we could see a backstab come out between the 2 one-man armies. Zute is going to look to reposition. He's going to get called out, and he's going to go down by Levazin. Even without confirming that kill, that's a bit of a feels bad, man. That does create a little bit more space for Leon. As the circle shifts up northeast, it is going to send Futbolists at a military base. It's going to send Aerowolf and RRQ outside the military base. And this is where Futbolists can look to control this area. The good thing for Aerowolf is that they're still a full squad. They have multiple vehicles. They really haven't had to do anything or go anywhere in this game, so they should have, you know, essentially maximum utility, maximum healing. Although, in saying that, because they haven't had to rotate, maybe they've only been limited by what they've been able to grab loot-wise in the military base. I'm not saying that it's a suppressed looting area. It's not. But either way, we'll have to wait and see, as Lutz is going to get confirmed up by Leon, the only other one-man army. RQ staying pretty, shifting up from the southwestern side over into the northwestern side as a 3-man team. Futbolists, who again did lose Lutz, are going to join up by these houses. It's the only houses inside this compound, knowing that Aerowolf Limax are there. Spell was knocked down. We're going to see Levazin take a little bit of damage to the point where he has to prone back down to heal up for his side. That's going to suppress any kind of engagement by Solgate and the rest of the Futbolist side. But now they can turn their attention on. Leon does find Senior on that knockdown, doing a great job as a one-man army. The Molotov is going to reposition that player from Aerowolf, but behind the wall he goes. Nice angles coming through. Solgate is going to get taken out. Rom and Levazin, they can't really respond as of right now. Aerowolf doing a great job. I know they have to worry about it. Ronaldo, he does find that Rom. It's going to be Levazin, the last player standing. Aerowolf, again, they haven't had to do much this whole game, but when it counts, they're pulling something out of the bag in these scrims. Game 1, the grenade is going to hit against the side of the wall. It's a bit of a ripperoni pepperoni. G9 finds Leon. It's going to be baby potato finding Futbolist, the last player. Now we're down to 2 teams. Either side of the circle, you have RRQ and you have Aerowolf Limax. Good thing is that RRQ is much more centralized in the circle. In some way, the bad thing is that they're high ground. Now, if the circle shifts away, there's a much higher chance they're still going to be inside the circle, but they're also still going to be high ground. That's why they have to kind of center themselves up around sending one player down the low ground of the hill. The next circle does shift up. We're on phase 6 and we're down to the final 2 teams. This could be a sub 23-minute game if we see this action kicking off sooner rather than later. E2E and Senior are going to get close to each other. Nice pressure being put on to the side of Aerowolf as Spav is going to get knocked down. Super Una trying to reposition behind that tree to flank around, try and find a little bit of an angle that he can suppress RQ from. If he can do that, we might see the revive come out onto Spaov. The good thing is that they're still up as a full squad, so even if they do lose Spaov, it'll still be a clean 3v3, and I think they might be aware of that. He does reposition up. He's going to get that revive onto his teammate. With D2E, he's been able to look to flank around himself. Potato taking a little bit of damage. He's going to have to try and heal up. He is outside the circle of this phase 6. I love the fact that RQ has G9 by the side of that wall, essentially gatekeeping and cancelling out the positioning held onto by the 4th Aerowolf player. But here's the thing, I was just going to say, surely Ronald, yeah, he has an idea. Ronald does get a knockdown onto G9. That's going to cancel out. I know RQ did reposition away, so Ronald does have to be careful. If he can bide his time, if he can basically slow down the push by RQ, this could be really good. The rest of Aerowolf are going to look to join up. D2E is further on. Senior does take a little bit of damage. Now he's going to pro down behind the wall again. You're suppressing the side of RQ. You're separating them. You're creating that gap in which you can use your man advantage to take out the side of RRQ. The good thing, at least for D2E, is he can play around those water towers. He's going to use that third-person perspective to get a little bit of information onto Super Una and Ronaldo. Senior has no medkits. He has absolutely no medkits. D2E finds Super Una, but Ronaldo is going to find Senior. So it's really up to D2E. The good thing is that he is protected by the 2 players of Aerowolf up and towards the high ground. So it is realistically a clean 1v1. He goes into first-person perspective mode. He's going to find a knockdown onto Ronaldo. Now he's going to look to go back behind, but he's going to be the third player of Aerowolf comes in to get the final blow onto RQ. The chicken dinner goes over to Aerowolf Limax. Oh, baby. Aerowolf Limax, man. Aerowolf Limax. Aerowolf Limax with the chicken dinner, 6 kills for their side. RQ getting second place with 5 kills. Futbolist in third place getting 1 kill. Surprisingly, only 1 kill for Futbolist, considering they were in Military Island for an extended period of time. Abrupt Slayers getting 4th place with 3 kills. Execute in 5th getting 0 kills, but still considering the position that they were in as the last player standing. I can't hate on Zute for getting his team into 5th. NAVI going into 6th with 0 kills. You had A1 Esports is 7th with 1 kill. You had Power888 in 8th with 2 kills. You had Blue Bees in 9th with 5, 6, 7 kills. You had DRS in 10th with 5, 6, 7 kills. You had Archer in 11th with 4 kills. You had Team Secret in 12th with 5, 6, 7 kills. You had Alpha7 in 13th with 1 kill. You had Digital Athletics in 14th with 2 kills. You had Godsent in 15th with 0 kills. You had Zeus in 16th with 0 kills. You had 4 Angry Men in 17th with 1 kill. That was a low-key, pretty interesting game. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Military Island Circles is probably the biggest test to a team when it comes to rotations and timing. And especially in scrims where it's far less impactful, right? As in there's nothing really on the line. It's probably the biggest test. Yeah, so it's fantastic to see that, like, you know, some teams are maybe trying different rotations. I'm a little bit sad that we didn't see a boat rotation from the likes of Power888. I think that could have rewarded them a little bit more. Same with NAVI, same with even Execute. You know, come on, don't disregard a boat rotation, especially for NAVI and Execute, where they knew for a fact that the western side of the island was going to be a lot less congested. I maybe understand Power888, but again, they didn't exactly rotate early in towards a circle, bar moving out of Milta Power maybe a little bit quicker. And it's like, some people argue that a military island, a boat rotation takes longer. It takes too long. Some people might argue that, and it's like, well, yeah, but if you're taking so long to rotate into a phase 1, phase 2 circle that is predominantly military island, it's the same thing as same length of time as taking a boat rotation in phase 1, right? So it's like, in my opinion, there's always an opportunity to use a boat rotation to your advantage. So look, on that note, we are going to go for a bit of a break, but I will be back for game 2, hopefully with the emulator source working better. I'm going to put a random timer. I'm going to put a random timer on it, but I don't know when we'll get back into the game. We are going into game 2, which is Miramar. Oh man, why do I have game map 3 Miramar? What? 2 seconds. Wait, why do I have Miramar's map? Okay, we're going into Vikendi. There you go. Sorry, we're going into Vikendi. That's my mistake. Sorry, we're going into Vikendi for game 2. So on that note, I'll be back in your screens in 3 to 4 minutes. See you soon. We are back. Short break. We're going to be heading into game 2 of the PUBG Mobile Global Championship Scrims organized by the amazing Sakumai. Check her out and give her a follow over on Instagram at Sakumai Esports. I think it's Sakumai _Esports. As far as not, yeah, it's Sakumai _Esports over on Instagram. Go give her a follow. She fully deserves it. She does this out of her own time, to be fair, especially with trying to do college and everything else. She's an absolute legend. And streamed and casted by myself. Luckily, everything seems to be okay for this game too in terms of my sources. God forbid. I shouldn't have any issues. But, let's hope so, anyway. Okay, so it's still loading in. Cause I just always want to make sure that I have no issues with. Okay, cool. Okay, all good in the hood. Okay, I am of course going to request that, guys. Please try and keep it friendly, positive in chat. We're all allowed to have teams that we support. We're all allowed to have, you know, our favorite teams, but please do everything you can to respect each other, to respect people's support for other teams, and just to do your best not to spread hate. You know, we are in this world for a short amount of time. You know, treat people the way you want to be treated. You know, the more hate you spread, you could be affecting somebody else's life in a negative way, and sometimes that's just not a nice thing, and actually a lot of times it's not a nice thing. So just, you know, spread love. I do my best to spread positivity. I get angry sometimes as well, but you know, if you spread love, you'll get love in return. That's the way I look at it, at least, you know. But on that note, we're going to be going over to game 2. We're heading into Vikendi, baby. Vikendi. Next 14 seconds, I'm going to move on over to the game transition. You don't want to see my ugly face. You don't want to see my ugly face. You don't want to see my ugly face. You want to see all of this insane action. There you go. Turn the volume up. We do see a playing path that is relatively southern, quite southern to be fair. Gonna make it a little bit harder to head towards the Zabava or areas, even Krishas. Whereas for the likes of Godsent, who like to go to Hot Springs Cantra, they could be joined by another team. I think maybe DRS have joined them in the past, if I'm not mistaken, or Aerowolf. Maybe not, I forget. Forget who it is exactly that's joined them in the past. Seems like it's 4 a.m. or 4 a.m. going to go further up. We'll have to wait and see. Futbolist and NAVI are going to drop by Miramar. It's going to be the age-old battle between the Turkish and CIS sides. Phasal Circle is at least going to complement the playing path. And I'm just going to see what kind of... There you go. Okay, so Rolka sends himself up, so looking for any early game battle. Archer have Volnova to themselves, keeping an eye on what kind of rotations are going to come out. Ah, there you go. The battle between NAVI and Futbolist is starting up. Oh boy, is going to be the first to get knocked down. Meku is looting up, looking possibly for Lutz outside that building, but does he know he's there? That's the thing. Levaden is going to find Tixie. So nice play coming out from Futbolist. Confirm that kill. Still up as a full squad. Levaden does take down Tixie to confirm that kill. Lutz now making his way across. So okay, relatively quiet in this early fight, but of course would be making a little bit of noise as NAVI are being picked off realistically one by one at the hands of Futbolist. So okay, probably doesn't know exactly where Meku is, but Meku is going to take a couple of shots. PP Bison is going to prove to be successful. Soke is going to get knocked down. Rom now going to look for Meku, but Meku finds a double knockdown. Molotov is not going to be successful. Meku does have a couple of bandages, but Lutz is further in. Lutz is going to take those shots, does take that door away, so stops a little bit of protection. Luckily, because Futbolists were up as a full squad, they were able to get that revive off, and now Meku is going to be suppressed. He's able to get one knockdown, but is going to be returned down straight away. The thing is, has that allowed Malik a little bit of time and space to move in and possibly punish the rest of Futbolists? Again, he's kind of going in a little bit blind. I think Rom, who's yet to be confirmed, just as I said, that Lutz is going to find Malik, and that is going to be the end of NAVI in this Vikendi game. The early battle closes out pretty quickly, and now the 16 teams left in this lobby are going to have a little bit of time to move in. Dream Eaters and DRS are in their own Krishas battle. Grenade being cooked up by Solus. We're going up towards the upstairs area. Will not connect too heavily as AJ and Mafia Ninja went down early on in this city fight. So leaves Bot and Nima left standing. Now he's being cooked up by Nima. Might be at the right position to connect on. He's going to put Silas down to just 1 health, and it will stop them pushing up too heavily. Thing is, what can Bot do? He's on one side of the stairs, Nima is on the other, but Nima has absolutely no heals. Smoke being cooked up, being thrown out, I believe, by 3 meters. Nima doing everything he can to not get spotted. Is going to jump out that building. Now Bot is going to be there on his own. The thing is, Dream Eaters will kind of somewhat hear that. Nima finds Solus. Nice by Nima. Oh, but he's going to get knocked and returned. At least Bot on his own. He is still upstairs. Again, the distraction has been created. The smoke is going to be utilized. Nice by Bot. MP5K going to shine his way through. Switch on over to the M4. Pre-fire shots come out by Salem in amongst the smokes. And that's going to be the end of DRS. It's not without, putting a little bit of hurt onto the side of Klas Digital Athletics, but it is not going to be enough to confirm any kills other than Reze going down earlier on and Digital Athletics. Did I call them Dream Eaters by mistake? Anyway, Klas Digital Athletics will keep on up as a 3-man team. Ooh, Abrupt Slayers and 4 angry men are fighting in Peshkova. Svan is going to find Shuri, but he's going to get turned up by King. 33 Svan was on his own, or just Svan. Leaving Suk as a last player in this area for a side. There is still Hisaki and Zingy, but they're in vehicle. Maybe making their way up towards. Yep, they're making their way from Trevno to join up with their teammate Suk. So at least if Suk can hold on and stop the push coming out, or slow down the push from ASL, It will become a clean 3v3 fight. Of course, ASL will hear, they should hear, the vehicle entering Peshkova. Leon is going to get into that snowmobile, reposition away. Now he has gotten information on where Suk is, but he is by that building on his own. Joker and King, you got to push forward. Although, just as I say that, Joker and King, they're going to be in their own clean 2-2 fight. Nice trade coming out from both sides, but it is going to be Hisaki that gets the double knockdown, and Leon is left on his own. If he can take out Suk, that'd be pretty good, but he is going to have to try and move away. Abrupt Slayers were not aggressive enough in the early game fight. You got to be prepared for that. And in comes Hisaki, or the Suk, should I say, with the final killer blow. That is going to be the squad wipe onto Abrupt Slayers and the Pally side, being overall schooled by the Chinese team of 4 angry men in this game 2 of the Scrims. Power888 going to come a cropping to RRQ Esports, Ronan, who I was actually talking to on Instagram yesterday. Super nice guy. They're representing their country in Mongolia really well. I don't think they've really been maybe featured enough, but then again, you know, they haven't been super impressive, but credit to them. You know, it's a tough job for them, right? They're coming from the wildcard region. Not as experienced as a lot of these teams, and they're working their hardest to improve. Ronan gets caught out by Aerowolf in the castle area. Third party, essentially, so it leaves Zeus with just 2 players up. And they're kind of separated a little bit further apart. TTOP going into that Zima in the Tovar area, which is still inside the circle. Blue Bees into the Movatra city. You have Execute going into the circle early on. Zute is further back on the northern edge. Archers are now going to take their own fight onto Futbolist. Soke is knocked down. Bavian is going to take down, but it is going to be Lavazan onto a few of the Archer players as I do look to try and render all this in. Yep, confirm that kill. That leaves 1 player left up now. Godsent? Is that Godsent? No, it's actually A1 Esports that could be looking to come in as a third party onto this. Yep, a little bit of a third party comes through. Swing is going to be up on that roof. He gets knocked down. Ginny is up on the high ground. Might be looking to make his way down. A1, if you're going to come in for the third party, you have to push in very quickly. So Sung is going to get confirmed up. Rome onto in Onyx. Dante onto Rome. Pushing his way through. You have to push on the side of A1. So be entry inside that building. You have Jax coming in. Dante is knocked down. Jinx now going to be following suit. So it's nice play coming through. Footballs are going to get caught out. They're going to get wiped out. A1 pull off an opportunistic push onto a damaged, broken Futbolist in this game too. Bangladesh proving to have their wits about them. And that's what they need to apply in the PMGC games, right? Recognize an opportunity to strike, and you strike. Digital Athletics, Alpha7 Gaming. Klas Digital Athletics struggled to get to the Super Weekend number 2, but they made it. Solus peeks up, gets a couple of shots, tickles the members of Alpha7. Grenades are being fired up, Molotovs are being fired up. That low ground is somewhat helping Digital Athletics, but of course, they are somewhat pinched. Silas in behind the rock. Solus is doing his best to suppress the members of Alpha7. Nice wraparound by Vitok 2K. Solus is going to get 1 knockdown. He does prone his way down, but the return by Silas is going to come out to be advantageous. It's a 2v1 right now between Alpha7 and Digital Athletics. Silas might look to just take what he could get and move away, knowing that he's hurt the members of Alpha7 that he has taking a player out. But maybe Silas is looking for the reposition. Oh. There you go. Gonna go up onto the roof of this building. Moving in. Just real quickly, we have a few teams converging around the center this phase 2 that did shift over into the mainland. You have Team Seeker, you have RRQ, and you have Blue Bees, followed by Power888 Execute. Where are actually Execute? Did they get taken out? What happened to Execute? Because they were looking pretty good in the circle. I'm actually super curious. Did Execute just get pushed on? Seems like that's the case. I don't know what happened to Execute. Crap. Sorry I missed that fight, guys. But, yeah. Wow. Okay. Oh, well. A little bit of a ripperoni pepperoni in the chat, boys and girls. 4 AM now making their way across. I think Godsent also got eliminated by, I think Aerowolf overall, if I'm not mistaken. So we are down to 10 teams in phase 2. Of course, that creates a lot more landmass. Vikendi is like that sometimes. It just tends to be a little bit boring in the early game, either because of you have those massive early game fights and then you have a stagnated mid game, or you have teams just holding on to compounds and then late game it absolutely blows up. Like you can see Blue Bees converging in. They're up as a full squad, using those roof trains to their advantage. There's some action to kick off. I hope you're all having an absolutely fantastic day. Lufa, Blue Bees. Fantastic player. Next circle does once again center towards the mainland. No crazy shift onto the coastal line. That does, of course, continue to maintain the land availability for these teams, where everybody bar Digital Athletics, Alpha7 and 4 Angry Men are inside the circle. And because most of them, with the circle centering up pretty nicely, most of the teams are already pretty well endowed into the center of the circle. Dino Park is in the middle and nobody's there, and that makes sense. With Dino Park, you don't really want to go into the park because disengaging away from Dino Park is very tricky and you don't really get that much information. Early game Dino Park, looting and maybe positioning early game phase 1, phase 2 is okay, but when it's in the center of phase 3, you don't really want to go there. A1 down on the southeast side of this phase 3. Again, full squad, moving, looting, positioning, using the high ground to grab a little bit of information down by the areas held onto by Blue Bees. Aerowolf coming into the east of Dino Park. You have 4 Angry Men coming through, and we are seeing a little bit of a fight break out as Power888 gets one of their players, Gooey, knocked down. Luckily, because they are trading compounds, although Team Seeker are now going to look to push in on that. That's good by Team Seeker. You recognize the knockdown. You look to try and take advantage of this. Out they go. Pre-fire shots coming through. Molotov to try and stop the push in a swift manner by Team Seeker onto Power888. Nicely done up at the stairs TTOP along with Gooey. Oh boy, you high boy. What? You high boy knocks down himself? Oh, that's it feels bad, man. That's not gonna help their troubles as Ice finds ice shots. Now it's all going backwards for the side of Team Seeker, and it started from you high boy taking himself out. And then Power888 recognized that and knew that they had the advantage of this fight in their favor. There is still a player of Team Seeker, Rex, held back on that compound, which, hey, look, I like that. Keep that insurance, that security blanket inside the circle while the rest of the team push. But that push, maybe wasn't done quickly enough. Maybe it just obviously wasn't done effective enough. And in the end, Team Seeker lose 3 players. Yeah, I don't know why I was saying Dream Eaters instead of Class Digital Athletics. I think because DA, it's just ingrained in my mind. Stupid mistake by me, so sorry about that, guys. It is, of course, Class Digital Athletics. Last player of Team Speaker is now being pushed upon by A1. A1, man. A1 Sharma, Bangladesh, showing up in these scrims. Gotta love it. You love to see it. Be aggressive. I know you're dealing with high ping, but at the end of the day, if you're controlling, if you're pushing, if you make it work, you make it work. And if you're working as a team, you're working as a team. Another kill for their side in these scrims. Blue Bees have a 3-1 split as of right now. Aerowolf are going to be converging onto the edge of Dino Park. The circle did once again center up around the Dino Park area. So, they're going to be the first team to make their way into the park. Still risky, but I'm going to respect it on phase 4. Because phase 3 could just shift it harshly away. If you had a conversion, it can still shift away on phase 5. I'm not a fan of it, but I get it. 4 angry men up on the northeastern side of the circle. Still up as a 3-man team. Be careful to watch their backs. You can never be too sure. There can always be a team coming in from behind or rotating around you. So you definitely always want to watch your back, because you are pretty well inside the circle. That's the thing. They're not on the very edge. I like to see that. It's always a little thing that some teams just don't look into. An AWM by law. Could he use that? Got an ADEX on it? Man. See could see some pat the headshot bull days coming through from law. He plays his cards right. Especially with a few players who like to utilize the roofs of those city buildings in the circle. Oof, man. Shifts, rotates onto Dino Park. That's going to be the central feature of this phase 5 circle. Puts a lot of pressure on the teams on the northwestern side of the circle. A1 are going to have to be very, very careful. If I were them, I would not move from this compound, to be perfectly honest, because what you can do is you can somewhat gatekeep teams. It's going to be hard coming into that circle anyway. Although if you do move early enough, you could maybe take the fight against Aerowolf. But again, if they don't maybe have that full information, it's hard for them to deal with that, right? I know it, but they might not know it. RQ are now going to send 2 or 3 players forward, closer to the side of A1. Treading with caution as D2E and Senior look to try and create a little bit of space for G9 to join up with their side. Of course, G9 is going to be looking out on the back line or on the sidelines for any kind of third party. As a Senior D2E look to rotate. But here's the thing. You know, it's not going to be easy because Blue Bees are on the western, southwestern side. Even Alpha7 rotating and wrapping around to maybe find a bit of an open area on the south. G9 is just going to full send onto the car park of Dino Park. We all know how hard it is. They're coming in late. Cronin down. He's going to chuck up a smoke, but he's going to get knocked out by one of the A1 players. Our Senior is going to go down. D2E is down on the open road. That could spell the end of RRQ. It was always going to be a risky push, but it was, yeah. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. I can't really hate on RRQ for trying it. Maybe I would have gone in a different way, but I respect that center push as the next phase does once again continue to go towards Dino Park. Aerowolf are now laughing at the fact that they moved in on phase 4 and they have been the biggest benefactors. Zeus, Icy, the last player standing from his side, has 3 members of 4 angry men waiting. But here's the thing, both teams are outside the circle. Can Icy catch out Four Angry Men. Power888, I believe, put a little bit of pressure onto Four Angry Men from the north side. You still Silas of Klas Digital Athletics. I said it right. Is now Law of Alpha7. He's not going to be using too much of this, in my opinion, close range Dino Park battle, but he does make his way into the circle. The southern part of Dino Park. See this terrain? There's not much to protect yourself with, right? You know, you have those few shacks, those few small buildings, but they're relatively open with those windows and those doors, so yeah, it's not going to be easy. But of course, because we're in there first, Aerowolf can really keep the pressure on the likes of Blue Bees, who have to go essentially across the car park to get into the circle. And we saw what happened to RRQ. Now, RRQ do still have D2E alive, credit where it's due to him. A1 Esports now coming in on that western side, pushing in. 6-9 does get knocked down and confirmed out. So A1 are down to 3 players. Dante is going to get knocked down. So the entry is also going to be put under a lot of pressure. Is going to get knocked down. That leaves RX Jack's the last player up. But that's the thing. You know, we saw this was going to happen. You have Aerowolf, you have Blue Bees, you have Power888. You know, somebody was going to crumble, and as it happens, it is A1. Power888 do take out the last remaining player of Klas Digital Athletics. Now they can full send it as a squad into the Dino Park terrain. Alpha7 have done a great job coming in behind Aerowolf Limax. Aerowolf Limax will, of course, have to deal with a number of teams right now because they were proactive onto the likes of RRQ and A1. There is a little bit more time for them to focus on Alpha7, but the Japanese side of Blue Bees are waiting to sting their opponents. Giving you a little bit of an overview on how these teams look. This next phase did show up. Power888 are still in this game, along with 4 Angry Men. Of course, it's only Suck left standing for 4 Angry Men. He has Power888 in front of him. Blue Bees onto RRQ D2E. Last remaining player of RRQ held on for dear life as far and as long as he could. Mabo gets knocked down, but Blue Bees do still have a number of players that they can utilize any kind of revives off onto. Sobe entry was knocked down. RX Jax has done a great job of just holding on for dear life. But with the next circle away from A1 and in the favor of Aerowolf. Once again in the favor of Aerowolf. We could see an Aerowolf Limax clean chicken dinner in this game too of Vikendi. But don't deny what Power888 can do. Don't deny what Alpha7 can do. Alpha7 have impressed us here at the PMGC. As much as Aerowolf do need to be proactive, they also can't be too proactive, right? Because if they're too proactive, they're going to alert all the teams around them to their location, to their position, right? And they're going to get suppressed by multiple angles. You have to be relatively calculated and controlling in this kind of circle when you're Aerowolf. Power888 takes the last remaining player of 4 Angry Men out. So what's behind them is done and they can focus firmly what's ahead of them. Because Sobe entries last player up for side of A1. Really, Power888 don't need to worry about that road line. As now Alpha7 V22K pushes in. He's able to get out of that vehicle without being knocked down. Nice Molotov being thrown out. That's not quite going to connect on the V22K, but it does reposition to the point where Renale is going to be able to get that knockdown, confirm that kill. Senna's going to go down as well. Law's the last player standing. Blue Bees are now looking to third party this as well. Whether it's onto Alpha7, whether it's on to the side of Aerowolf Limax. Ice is going to get dropped down by Power888. The circle goes in the favor of both Blue Bees and Aerowolf. Sobe entry is still holding on for dear life from the side of A1. Power888 look to get that revive onto Ice. Keep up as a 3-man team. Shots going on all around them. But Sobe entry goes down to the blue zone. 4 teams left standing. Bluebees, Aerowolf, Limax, Alpha7, and Power888. Nice roof play from Potato onto Lufa, catching her out by the car park. Smoke's being thrown out by Bluebees as they look to push in a little bit further, get into the circle a bit more controllingly. Ronaldo is knocked down. Super Una now has to listen out for these shots. Hazelnuts onto ice. Great control by Aerowolf Limax. They're dealing with so much around them in such an effective manner. The good thing, at least for Alpha7, is that Law was able to get that revive onto Senna because as much as Aerowolf have been controlling, they haven't been able to be fully on top of closing out these team fights. SQX. The rest of Bluebees coming in with Rajo. Mobo. Nicely done. Aerowolf still holding on for dear life. Nice! Grenade coming out from ice to knock down and of course confirm another Aerowolf player. Alpha7 go down. The Blue Zone is pushing in. Power888 are the team that realistically have a little bit more control, although just as I said, Bluebees are the only team with 3 players up. Power888, Gooey comes in. It's going to be 1v1 inside this building as I look to bring it onto Gooey's perspective. He prones his way down. Bluebees know that they can just come in and third party this fight inside this phase 8 as the Blue Zone is going to hit, and we will make it into phase 9 of this Vikendi game. Of course, the longer Gooey leaves it, the easier it is for Potato to come in. Of course, get the revives up onto his Aerowolf teammates. 3v3v1 as 7 players alive, 3 teams. Gooey is going to get confirmed up. Aerowolf, Bluebees, 2 teams left standing. Potato's prone down into position where Gooey was. Who's going to get the first fight? Rajo comes in to get the first knockdown. The Blue Zone is closing in. Proactive play from Bluebees. I hear an AWM shot close range. Gotta love to see it, but it's Bluebees, the Japanese side, stinging Aerowolf and claiming this chicken dinner for their side. But Aerowolf still had an absolutely fantastic game. Moving into Dino Park on phase 4. Phase 3 at the right time. I knew there was risks involved. I pointed out, but with the circle constantly shifting towards Dino Park, circle after circle, they were advantageous of that. They didn't stay lying down. They were constantly aware that multiple teams were going to get closer to their area. RRQ got near them by the car park, instantly took them out. A1 went near them, kind of instantly took them out. Alpha7 did wrap around behind them, to be fair, and it was good by the side of Alpha7. But they still got punished. Power888 and Bluebees. Bluebees, 2 teams. Power888 and Bluebees really handled their areas really well. I love the fact that Power888 took care of kind of 4 angry men, the last player 4 angry men, before kind of focusing on their position inside the circle. Oh man, Bluebees, chicken dinner for Lufa and the rest of his team with 5 kills. Aerowolf Limax second place with 7 kills. Power888 though with 3rd place with 5, 8, 11 kills for their side. Alpha7 in 4th with 3 kills. You had A1 Esports in 5th place. 6, 7, 8 kills. Nice play from A1. They were very opportunistic, and I want to see more of that from them, right? Show their strength. Doesn't matter if you're dealing with high ping, if you're at least playing with a little bit more confidence and aggression, you're sending that message to the opponents around you, and you are, of course, overall creating more control in the circles for your side. 4 angry men in 6th, coming in from the north on the eastern side of the map. Took out DRS, came in, was able to get 6th place with 4 kills for their side. RRQ in 7th with 5 kills. Digital Athletics in 8th with 5 kills. Zeus in 9th with 0 kills. Team Secret in 10th with 0 kills. Futbolist in 11th with 8 kills. Execute in 12th with 0 kills. Don't know what happened there. Execute, to be perfectly honest. Archer in 13th with 1 kill. Abrupt Slayers in 14th with 1 kill. You Godsent in 15th with 0 kills. DRS in 16th with 1 kill. NAVI in 17th with 0 kills. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Ooh. Oh man, that was game 2 over and done with. Great action in Vikendi. We did lose, of course, a few teams early on. The circles were shifting really nice. Nothing crazy as far as 50% water. And that was honestly great to see. I want to see, you know, more of that, to be fair. The way the teams did position themselves, bar kind of some teams getting caught out, can't really argue with it. And yeah, good stuff all around. Going into game 3, we are going to be heading over to Miramar for that game. So definitely going to be exciting to see. It is a little bit similar of a map, but of course it's quite different in the sense of there's far less compounds to play with. You still want to, of course, you like Vikendi, you want to prioritize the high ground. Of course, in Vikendi, the roofs is kind of the predominant high ground, whereas in Miramar, it's the mountainous upper ground terrains with the dips around you, sending yourself into the circle kind of relatively early on. So we'll have to wait and see how that game goes about. Again, I don't know when the game is going to start, but I'm going to put a little bit of a random timer up on the board, and whatever happens, if it needs to be changed, it will be changed. If we're back sooner, we're back sooner. If we're back later, we're back later. So on that note, I'm going to go for a bit of a break, boys and girls. But back for game 3 here in the PUBG Mobile Global Championship Scrims. See you guys in a bit. Hey, ho. Welcome back to PUBG Mobile Global Championship Scrims, organized by the wonderful Sakumai and brought to you by myself, ImPERium. Of course, if you're liking the stream, if you're liking the broadcast, feel free to give the stream a bit of a like. And feel free to hit that subscribe button, as you do often get asked. If you have any feedback for me, feel free to follow me over on Instagram at EVT_ImPERium over on Instagram. And send me a message, get in contact with me, 110%. We've had two fantastic games so far. I'm not going to lie. I forgot who won game one. If somebody wants to politely remind me in chat. I do know Blue Bees won game two. Oh yeah, game one was won by Aerowolf. Yeah. Game one, Aerowolf. And game two was Blue Bees. I'm so bad at remembering who won games. I really am so bad at remembering who won games. But we are going over into the third game of the day. It's going to be on Miramar for the third one. Here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Once again, I will remind you guys to please keep it polite, keep it positive, keep it clean in chat. I've already asked moderators to be a little bit harsher with regards to toxic messages in chat. I really love to see, you know, viewers supporting their teams and you know, throwing out like Digital Athletics or DA or BTR, right, if BTR are playing. But please don't hate on other people for supporting a team. We're all in this together, guys. We're all in the scope of PUBG Mobile Esports together. If a team succeeds, even if it's not our own, Mobile Esports succeeds. And if Mobile Esports succeeds, the players succeed, right? The future of mobile gaming, the career path of you, others, and so many around succeed. Less hate, more love as you get into game three. Over onto the desert mountains of Miramar, we do see a playing path that is nice compared to the first two games, is far more centralized. That will breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief for these teams. And one top tip, by the way, for anybody playing with the recent new feature that was introduced to PUBG Mobile, what you guys can do is, and what you should be doing, is set the waypoint, not the waypoint, but the line on where the plane trajectory is. Because where the plane trajectory is often helps to dictate where teams will drop. And where teams drop essentially dictates how they're going to rotate. So if you're able to monitor the plane path by having that line across the map, you're able to much better help yourself rotate cleanly into the circles. But anyway, let's see the tips and more of the action unfolding on our screens. Make sure I have the volume up right. Yes, I do indeed. Blue Bee is going to be Chumacera on their own. You have Abrupt Slayers and Aerowolf both kind of split dropping between Picado and Chumacera. You have A1 heading down south as well. A little bit of an early fight between Archers and RRQ in the El Pozo area. Let's swing on over to that area. Senior has been taken out right off the bat. Seems like Archer's got there first. D2E is going to get knocked down and is going to get confirmed up by Fabian, and it does leave G9, the last player, up for his side. The El Pozo City surrounded by the members of Archers. Nowhere really to run, nowhere really to hide. Phase inside is somewhat complements the playing path, even though 4 Angry Men have dropped kind of far on the northwest between Campo Militar and Torre Ahumada. It's going to be an easy entry point over into the circle for themselves. Nice play by G9. The Uzi coming in strong. Takes out an Onyx, but again, I ask, why are you pushing in onto that building on your own, Anonix, right? If you know you have the man advantage, you know that you've taken out 2 members of RRQ, you might not know if there's 2 players left, but don't send 1 player up, send 2 players up minimum. Use that man advantage you have, guys. E9 went up another level of that building. Hooking up a pre-grenade. We do see a fight going on between San Martin. Inside San Martin between Team Sucre and Futbolist, but I'm going to hold on to this battle as G9 looks to fend off the aggressing members of R3 Esports. Pre-fire shots come through. Fabian turns around. Thompson is going to spray up, and that is going to be the end of RRQ in this game 3. Team Sucre, after losing a player, are going to disengage away to water treatment. NAVI going to play around the Minas and graveyard areas. Easy entry point into the circle. Godsent are going to be put under a little bit of pressure actually by Abrupt Slayers. They're separated quite heavily. Decided Godsent, so Abrupt Slayers could put a decent bit of pressure on them. It's just NAVI, Zuku, and Rokus that joined up for this game 3. Zuku went down early on, so Rokus and NAVI were quite separated away from each other. Gonna be a tough job for them. Aerowolf did go to Los Leones. They dropped out early on, got a couple of vehicles, and went over onto Los Leones. Not too bad for them. Once again, it's going to be an easy entry point. Monte Nuevo, Zeus, and Alpha7 kicking things off against each other. So firm part of this phase 1 circle, so whoever wins this fight could set themselves up for a very strong result in this Miramar game. A little bit of an overview. Zenacena is knocked down. He took 2K. Gonna look for the revive. Zeus, they have a good position. They have a good spread, but the risk is that, of course, they can still get picked off 1 by 1. That's the fear, right? There's no real backup like we're seeing with Alpha in terms of like 2-2. But of course, Alpha don't really have too many angles other than the building and the wall side around them, which is why they've just gotten caught out by Zywall. Zeus, you have to look to push this. I don't know, I see why you're actually wrapping around further away from the members of Alpha. Law's under a little bit of pressure. He's inside that building on his own. Although now he's going to be joined up by his teammate. Swagon. Doing a great job of supporting Law. Again, Zeus now looking to engage forward. Zywall is going to go for the upstairs pinch. That is actually nice by Zywall. That is actually big brain plays by Zywall. As he's gotten closer. Abely's gotten closer inside this building. They are surrounding the members of Alpha7. Ronan on the off angle. But 2K is low in health. He does have a couple of bandages that he can play around. Again, Alpha7 still up as a full squad. That revive that Zeus got off earlier on, they did not take advantage of it. So they do still have to be very careful. And even more so because for the PUBG Mobile Global Championship, you don't know if a player after, like, they're not going to know that if he's actually still knocked down, right? Ronan finds Vitu 2K, but Law is going to clap back quite nicely. Icy's now going to look to join in, but it is, of course, Alpha7 maybe gaining a little bit more control. VSS comes in, gets a double knockdown by Abely. A double knockdown by Abely with the VSS. Poggers in the chat, boys. Poggers in the chat. And now Icy is going to come in. Icy is going to be able to get the final blow. And it is going to be a squad wipe onto Alpha7 by Zeus Esports. Who says the VSS isn't a good gun? It's not really that good of a gun, but when it's needed in a clutch moment, it's needed in a clutch moment. That's the way I look at it. As you get into the blue zone closing in, teams are starting to make their way in towards the center part of phase 1. That high ground outside of El Pozo is a very core area to hold on to. It's why Digital Athletics and Archers are both heading towards there. Team Secret and NAVI are in their own little fight on the northwestern edge of the circle. Matic was knocked down on his rotation, but because they are closer to each other, the response should be pretty swift. Onto the members of Team Secret, Grenade being looking to cook up as iShots takes a little bit of health, but the grenade isn't going to confirm that knockdown just yet. Oh boy, was knocked down. Tixie is doing his best to hold on. Meku is able to find Rex. Nice by Tixie to come in. Now Meku is a player with the most amount of health for his side. Matoy is going to be up high for the side of Team Secret to try and suppress the members of NAVI, but because he isn't able to find those angles, not able to do anything so far for his teammates. But now the spray might be coming through by Mad Toy onto Tixie. That's exactly what's going to happen. And he finds Tixie with the red dot spray. Baby! Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more, is what Navi says to Team Secret. Of course, Meku is still alive. Oh, maybe not for long though, as he takes a hell of a lot of damage. Great play by Mad Toy. Bandage is being cooked up by Meku. Phase 2 is about to pop up. And Phase 2 is going to center up pretty nicely. Crater Fields, the high mountainside to the south of Crater Fields, all in play. And hell, even 4 Angry Men, Navi and Team Seeker, who are all up on this northeastern side of the map, or of the phase 1 circle, don't have far to go. Remember what I just said? Notice what I just said? 4 Angry Men. They could be coming in for a third party. They're still full squad. You can see it right there. Hisaki and Suk gonna come in. Nixie does confirm that kill onto eye shots. SKS of Mad Toy. I think Mad Toy has a little bit of an easier disengagement as the shots are being fired up. The revive is going to be pulled out onto Tixie by Meku to at least keep Navi up as a 2-man team. Looking over, I am going to pin it on over to this fight between Digital Athletics and the side of Archers. Archers are on the higher ground a little bit more easily, which is why they're just going to chuck a grenade in towards the members of Digital Athletics. And that's where Sasung finds solace. Matoy, you can see on the kill feed, does find Tixie once again. But does leave it in a 1v1 in the battle up on the northeastern side. Hisaki, third parties, like I suspect, Silas is going to go down off a great grenade by Sasung. A second fantastic grenade to suppress the members of Digital Athletics. Higher ground by Salem, but he's not able to do anything about it. Solus is going to get third party kill away from Archers by Futbolist, which does make sense considering where Futbolists are. Blue Bees onto Zeus. Blue Bees onto Zeus in El Pozo. Let's pin on over to there. The aggression that Blue Bees show in scrims, man, they need to show that a little bit more in the actual PUBG Mobile Global Championship. I know that you do have to be careful, but I want that level of aggression. Meku goes down. I believe that's the end of Navi. It's okay, finds Silas. Another kill over onto Futbolists. Blue Bees converging in on towards the members of Zeus. They've taken down 1 or 2 as Abley is just proning down behind the wall. I think Blue Bees knows where he is. The jump shots come through. Abley is going to get the knockdown onto Lufa. That was a little bit caught off guard, but now Blue Bees are going to look to push in a little bit more heavily. Another knockdown by Abley. He prones down. He doesn't have the bullets in the clip. He tried to change weapon in time, but it just wasn't enough. However, I was thinking Icy might be able to look to do something about that. But because Ray J was up on the roof side of that building, he was able to get the higher ground perspective. Zeus goes down. It was a great effort coming out for them. What's more importantly for Blue Bees is they stay up as a full squad. DRS outside Monte Nuevo to the northern side of it, all on their lonesome. You have Abrupt Slayers, the other Nepali representative in the South Asian qualifying team, are a bit to the east of them. You have Power888 on the edge of the circle on the far east. You have 4 Angry Men who did third party, both Team Secret and NAVI, coming in on the northeastern side. And that is a huge shift down south. Huge shift down south for Phase 3. It's good, realistically, for all the teams, bar 4 Angry Men. But because we're down to 9 teams in this Phase 3, of course there's way more space available for 4 Angry Men. If that was a normal competitive game, I guarantee you there would be 4 to 5 teams in front of 4 Angry Men. Minimum. As in like 4 or 5 teams that weren't inside the circle in front of 4 Angry Men. But because we're down to 9 teams, there's no real space around them. It's just Futbolists and Archers who are inside the circle. Now, Archers are disengaging away from the high ground. And they're wrapping around the fields of El Pozo. And I kind of agree with that. The reason why is because they realize, look, it's on the edge of the circle. It's maybe not worth taking the fight. We're actually not grabbing that much information on the teams around them. Futbolists came in to take out Digital Athletics. That's really great disengagement coming out from Archer. Clever, intelligent, and now they can focus on towards DRS. And they're still inside the circle. Ensues further forward. DRS will have, of course, heard the noise of those vehicles, so they will want to respond somewhat swiftly. Take out the team behind you so you can focus on what's in front of you. Leave it too late, and there's a higher chance you're going to get third-partied. 18s, 28 players of the Blue Zone Phase 3 closes in. To give you a little bit of an overview, current positions between Archer and DRS. Great high ground advantage from Sasung, to be fair. And then Fabian even further back. But I do fear that they don't have the angles to do much about DRS. I see that's why Unsu did kind of wrap a bit to the side. It wasn't without him getting spotted, but at least he has another angle for his side. So he's able to try to suppress with that Mini 14 on the DRS. And hey, look, he made it work out, and I'm going to give him credit for that. AJ, onto the edge of the building, looks for those shots onto Unsung. Or Sasung, should I say? I also like the position of Bot from DRS because he's able to look ahead of him. He's getting a lot of information to the likes of Blue Bees, Abrupt Slayers, Futbolists, etc. While the rest of the team focus their attention on towards Archers. 4 Angry Men, they wrapped around. They're coming in behind this side of Archers. So it is going to be a little bit of a 3-way dance on the western edge of the circle. As Dewey gets a knockdown on the King. We did see Archer lose 1 player at the hands of 4 Angry Men. The Phase 4 does shift up north. That's a bit of a bitch of a circle shift, in my opinion. Far south on Phase 3, far north on Phase 4. It's not easy for these teams to deal with. Luckily for Futbolists, they're on the high ground. They're going to be looking to control and dictate other teams' positioning. Abrupt Slayers is also looking pretty good. Power888 are going to be on the outside of the circle. A1 wrapping around on the south. DRS followed by Blue Bees. They're going to get really close together. 2 little pocket fights happening on the southwest side of this map between Blue Bees, DRS, 4 Angry Men, and Archer. Try and keep an eye what happens on the kill feed with the shots being fired up. Blue Bees are yet to make their way into the circle. We do see Zingy knocking down Fabian. That puts more pressure onto Archer Gaming. I think that leaves him down with just 2 players. Mafia Ninja needs to do something about this area. Indeed, he gets 1 knockdown on the SQ. Oh, he gets another knockdown onto Lufa. Confirms that kill. Puts Blue Bees down to 2 players. Great flank positioning held down by Mafia Ninja. He does have to prone down. He's getting third party from a distance. He'll send that information to the rest of his team, but it doesn't mean they have to stop being aggressive. They have to take out Blue Bees, because when they do take out Blue Bees, if they do take out Blue Bees, then they can focus on third partying or taking out the team outside the circle in front of them. Luckily for them, it wasn't not a real pocket fight, so there wasn't as much focus. The push comes in as Nima is going to follow suit. Rajo is playing along the high ground dip very well to try and peek and shoot. Use no smoke. Great grenade coming out from bot to knock down Rajo. He is going to be the last player standing from Blue Bees. He is going to get taken out by Mafia Ninja, and that is going to be a squad wipe by DRS onto Blue Bees. Nice play from DRS. I want to see that kind of control. We have not seen any of the two teams of Archer and 4 Angry Men getting wiped out as of just yet. So Sung holding on for dear life. The blue zone is pushing in. 4 Angry Men need to think about their position inside the circle as they have 2 players, well, 3 players left up. With Hisaki and Singy going along that boogie. Surely they know that DRS is in front of them. And all they want to do is just get closer to the edge of the circle, where they will have to take that fight against the Nepali side. This would be a great confidence boost if DRS were to take out one of the top teams in the whole world, never mind this actual PUBG Mobile Global Championship. But Saki with the M24, pat the headshot Bolte on to Nima. This could be the push that 4 Angry Men need, and that's exactly what they're going to do. But it's a little bit difficult with the boogie. They do make it out live. Bot isn't able to do too much on that flank position. He does have to do sometimes. He looks to cook up a grenade. Nice by Mafia Ninja onto Isaki. Another return fire coming out from Bot. That leaves Suk left standing. That's going to be the squad wipe. That's going to be DRS surviving and striving and will get the revive onto Nima to stay up as a full squad. We're down to 5 teams. Futbolist holding on to the northern side, converging very nicely. You have DRS, you have the last player standing of A1. You have Abrupt Slayers still up as a 3-man team, but do have to make their way into the circle. And Power888 on the eastern side. There is that one beautiful compound that is inside the circle, down on that low ground. Power888 are going to instantly go for that position. They've been hovering around that area for a while. They would have had some form of intel, and now they can look to gatekeep the side of Abrupt Slayers. Futbolist on the high ground can just wait for all the teams to get around them. Abrupt Slayers looking to actually full send it into the center of the circle. It's a little bit risky. There's a couple of tiny little shacks that they can use to their advantage, and that's exactly what they're doing. Lutz does actually take down Gui, so it gives a little bit of respite to the members of Abrupt Slayers, who do make their way into the center of this phase 5 circle without getting one player knocked down. Stroke of luck, stroke of genius. You be the judge of that, but either way, they've made it work. DRS now going to be coming onto the high ground behind Futbolist, but Futbolists have been here for quite a while, and they're not ready to get rid of this low ground area. Get rid of this high ground area, should I say, or give it up in the hands of DRS. Lavazin does have to be careful. I think he can't over-peak that. Being on high ground gives you an advantage, but you are peeking more your body when you look down. That's where Lavazin paid the price. Luckily, they're still up as a full squad, so hopefully a revive will come through without them losing too much control in this area. But again, gives a little bit more time for DRS to do something about their position. AJ was knocked down. Mafia Ninja is going to come through to get Dante. Bangladesh versus Nepal, so to speak, in this battle. As A1, as Janini, left standing, being one with the bush. Salke finds AJ. It's going to be a double knockdown onto the members of DRS by Futbolist. You forgot about the Turkish side, didn't you, DRS? I got why you were focusing on Futbolist, but you have to make sure that you are not over-peaking your area. You got to stick to the cliff side as the blue zone of phase 5 closes in. All 5 teams, all 14 players are inside the circle. So really, this phase 6 shift will give us a much bigger picture of who's going to come out on top. Of course, being inside the circle doesn't always give you the golden advantage. What you do with that position, boys and girls? The circle centers up into the favor of Abrupt Slayers. Futbolist will now have to move down from the high ground. Soke goes on to Nima. Gets that knockdown to try and confirm that kill. Futbolist have to do something. Genie's going to get caught out. Shots are going to come through. Nice spray from Bot to take out the side of A1. He's going to get caught out though onto that mountainside edge by Sulke. Mafia Ninja doing everything can amongst the smokes to cook up a grenade. Sulke now just being looking to low ball. Actually, no, he's nice. Highballing. It's going to be a clean connect. That's going to be the end of DRS. We're down to our final 3 teams. And eliminating the players of DRS was so important for Futbolist to make their way down the mountainside in towards the circle of this high ground, because they don't have to worry about an angle to the side. They can now focus on using the high ground to their advantage. Power888 up as a one-man player left standing. It was 2, but Kui got instantly shut down inside that vehicle. So Ice Baby is the last player up. Abrupt Slayers push a couple of phases ago has worked out in their favor. But the thing is, can they do something about it? The high ground is in the favor of Futbolist. The man advantage is in the favor of Futbolist. But if phase 7 is to shift into the favor of Abrupt Slayers, that low ground, those buildings, would prove to be very, very beneficial to Abrupt Slayers' push to try and claim a chicken dinner in this Miramar game. Ice is going to stay prone down. He's on that low ground terrain, covered behind a blown up truck. He is inside the circle. That's the most important thing. Again, in this phase 6, we get to the point where the remaining 3 teams, the remaining 8 players are all inside this circle. Ice trying to grab a little bit of information. The SLR shots trying to suppress the members of Futbolist. There is... Oh, baby. Okay, so I don't know if you noticed this, but a crate drop just dropped by Abrupt Slayers. If there is ever a golden chance for them to grab that level 3 gear and maybe even an MK14... Oh, it's completely empty. Okay, that's been taken by Abrupt Slayers. Oh, baby. Okay. Who has it, though? That's the thing. Who has it from Abrupt Slayers? It's not Leon. It's maybe Shri. It could be one or the other. I don't know exactly, but... Oh, no, sorry. It hasn't been taken. So there's an AUG, an 8X, level 3 gear. Oh, Abrupt Slayers. I don't know why you didn't go for that, guys, when you had the smokes in that area. The next circle does go in the favor of both Futbolists and Abrupt Slayers. That's not the best for Abrupt Slayers. Even though they're still on the low ground, because Futbolists are still inside the circle, they don't have to move down the hill. And they have the 4-man spread between the split of the high ground and low ground. Rome finds Ice. That's the last player of Power888 taken out. And Futbolists will know that because it's a confirmed kill. It's no knockdown. And now, they're pretty certain that the final team in front of them is the final team in front of them. Let's get to double knockdown onto Tree and King. It's now Leon is the last player up for Abrupt Slayers. He hasn't got a helmet. He's only got a level 3 vest. He does get a knockdown onto Sulke. And he's going to have to try and find that pre-fire onto the rest of the members as they compound onto him. Going to go for that one knockdown, but it's not going to be the case because Futbolists just compounding onto Abrupt Slayers and claim the chicken dinner on Miramar. Nicely played by Futbolists on the high ground. They were consistently proactive. They were consistently controlling. They knew they had to eliminate the teams around them at the relevant point in the game. Did they benefit from the fact that we were down to 9 teams on like phase 3? So remember when I talked about 4 angry men coming in from the north? In a normal competitive situation, there would be so many more teams around Futbolists, so it would be a little bit harder for them to fully control that high ground. But at the end of the day, the situation that was handed to them, the situation that was given to them, they took advantage of that. And that's all you can really ask for as a side. The amount of kills they got speaks for themselves. 7, 5, 12, 14, 15 kills for Futbolists with the chicken dinner. I want to see more of that in the actual global championship. Abrupt Slayers, they didn't qualify for the Super Weekend, but it doesn't matter. You're constantly improving. There's 2 more Super Weekends to go. Abrupt Slayers and DRS, respectfully. 3 kills for Abrupt Slayers at the hands of Leon. Power888 with 0 kills, but still 3rd place nonetheless. DRS in 4th with 9 kills. You had A1 in 5th with 5 kills. You had 4 Angry Men in 6th with 7 kills. You had Archer in 7th with 4 kills. You had Blue Bees in 8th with 3 kills. You had Digital Athletics in 9th with 0 kills. You had Zeus Esports in 10th with 4 kills. You had NAVI in 11th with 2 kills. You had Team Secret in 12th with 1 kill. You had Aerowolf Limax in 13th with 1 kill. You had Alpha7 in 15th with 1 kill. Or 14th, you had Godsent in 15th with 1 kill. You had RRQ Athena in 16th with 1 kill. Yeah, Sakumai is their room creator. Technically, she finished higher up than Alpha7, Godsent, and RRQ. Hey, the record says that she did, so it's true, right? Oh my lordy, 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 lordy. Oh my, oh me. Oh me, oh my. Oh man. Oh man. Solid game 3. I liked it. I was happy with how it went. Some great battles. Nice to see DRS taking the fights. It's nice to see some teams trying to learn from just learn from their mistakes of previous weeks and previous days. You know? Oh man. Oh man. So of course we are going to prepare for the final game of the day. We're going over to the jungle mountains of Sanhok. Again, like the last couple of the games, I don't know when it's going to start, but I'm going to put a random timer up on the board. If it gets lowered, if it gets raised, of course, you'll see it firsthand. So on the note, I'm going to go for the final break of the day as we prepare to get into the final game of the day in the PUBG Mobile Global Championship Scrims. Don't go away. See you guys in a minute. Oh, okay. I thought I had it on the camera overlay. Actually, it doesn't really matter because we're getting into the game soon enough. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, to the PUBG Mobile Global Championship Scrims, brought to you by myself, ImPERium, organised by the one and only Sakumai. I'm screen sharing my screen to my friend Sandstorm because he didn't get it into the room in time. And then I forgot I had myself muted, so he was like, dude. It's like, okay, rip. Just wait 2 seconds, guys. Love you, Sandstorm.
Love you too, baby. Now can you please shush so I can talk to my people?
You will not silence me.
Hey, you beautiful man. Stop it. Also, the volume, bro. I got no volume. Please. Also, ImPERium's viewers, you guys, I bet you guys are having an awesome time. All right, now, later. Enjoy your stream. Bye-bye, ImPERium.
Okay.
A little bit higher, please. Por favor.
Turn me up higher. Shut up, okay?
Please, please, please. Please, thank you very much. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Man, what am I gonna do with this guy? Okay, so we're into the game, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen, we do see a playing path that is, of course, quite centralized, to be fair. Quite centralized indeed. Let's see what kind of early game fights we can bring for you guys. NAVI and Zeus both dropping in boot camp. Keep an eye on that. Paradise Resort, Team Secret, side of A1 and Digital Athletics. Okay, Archers and A1. Okay, so it's actually Archers, A1 and Digital Athletics. Okay, so I'm going to provide a little bit of an overview of this more than anything, to be perfectly honest. Because with multiple teams, Archers do seem to be getting the better of A1. Oh my lord, just like that. That's all she wrote for A1. A bit of an early bath for them. And now it all comes down to Digital Athletics and Archers. Onto the roof Solus goes, or onto the archway of that building. Looking for the sightlines. Can't quite get the angle onto Inonyx. Inonyx staying by the roof side. Oh my god, Inonyx takes a decent bit of damage. Silas looking for a shot. Solus is going to get knocked down. Ray's head following suit. Going to look to get the knockdown. Fabian is going to be inside that building on his own pre-fire shots. Going to come through. Nice jump shot. It's going to come down. He's going to be traded up, though. As it comes down to 2v1, Fabian is on his own. He's got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. The squad right comes through, and that's going to be Digital Athletics surviving Paradise Resort and surviving up as a full-man team. Now let's take it on over to boot camp with NAVI going up against Zeus. We'll, of course, keep an eye as we see Godsent. We're in a little bit of a fight. I think they've been taken out, actually, if I'm not mistaken, right off the bat. No, they haven't. They're still up as a two-man team. I just can't see them right now. Where are they? Oh, yeah, they're by the bridge side. That's where they are. Okay. Let's keep it on to the fight between NAVI and Zeus. NAVI are up as a full squad at least. There is one player, Zeus, further back. Nice by Icy onto Matic. Is going to catch him out. But how are the rest of NAVI now going to follow suit? I don't know what it is about NAVI, but they just seem very sluggish. They seem very slow to respond, to be perfectly honest. Even though Zeus are, of course, very separated, you can see that they have the angles, right? Tixie gets dropped to the floor by Ronan. Across the way, that's going to come through. It is going to get confirmed up by Abley. Abley is now going to get knocked down into Meku, and NAVI are being picked apart one by one. Zeus just continuing to suppress them so heavily. The only thing is there could be a little bit of a third party part across the way. Nice knockdown by Oh Boy. Gonna look for the confirmed kill, but across the way, it is going to be not across the way, but just coming in the last second. The kill, the squad out confirmation onto NAVI. Abrupt Slayers, they were the team that could be looking to third parties, but isn't going to be the case. Team Secret now coming into Paradise Resort to see if they can get the better Digital Athletics. Two teams have gone down in this resort that they call Paradise. Who will be the next one between these two teams of Klas, Digital Athletics, and Team Secret? Zed looking for the pre-fire sprays onto Yuhai. Yuhai saying crouch down at the right time on that balcony. Grenades being fired up, trying to suppress the members of Klas. Klas are more firmly inside the resort, so in theory they can disengage. But Team Secret, although they're yet to really breached inside the resort, they do have a little bit of a high ground advantage. Salem gets knocked to the floor by Rex. Silas is further back. Ed and Solus trying to do whatever they can. It is more Solus in the way as Mantoy is going to find Salem. Nice wrap around by Yuhai Boy to confirm Solus. So that's going to leave Digital Athletics with just two players. Silas and Ed up. Team Secret are doing a great job of coming into this fight and engaging so effectively. Rex onto Ed. Silas has nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, as it is going to see the end. With the Thompson in his hand, he's going to try and move away. Going to look for the shots onto Rex, but Rex finds him. It's going to be the squad. It's going to be the end of Digital Athletics. And Team Secret continue to maintain control in the Paradise Resort. Trying to get the right volume balance from my good friend Sandstorm. I hope the volume isn't too loud for you guys. So let's see. We didn't even talk about the phase on circle, to be perfectly honest. It's mainly centered onto the mainland, but there is a decent chunk of the Southwest Island in play. RQ currently the one team that are very central inside the circle. Futbolist coming in from the Northwest Island over the Trifecta area, probably down to the Southwest Island, get some information on the mainland and then go from there. I'll just pan on over to their direction. How they're moving makes complete sense coming down from Hating. They would know that without teams like Execute inside the lobby on these scrims that they do have that Northwest Island to themselves, and I think Power888 are the only other team that tend to drop, and I think they're not playing in this game. So again, knowledge is power, and Futbolists know that they have the knowledge and the control of that Northwest Island, which means that they can move down to the Southwest Island a lot quicker without being put under any pressure. DRS and RRQ going to be getting into a fight with each other. RRQ realistically just coming out on top so dominantly. I think that is the end of DRS just like that. No, see, it's going to be Bot that's left standing. Final player up. Going to look for the knockdown, but it isn't going to be the case. G9 does indeed confirm the squad wipe onto DRS. And all without actually Alpha7 finding out an opportunity to third party. And it's even going to be the opposite way around because RRQ is able to get a knockdown onto a member of Alpha7. So great play by RRQ, especially because they're only a three-man team. Although Bluebees are third partying the third partying team. Lufa come in from behind. Followed by the rest of their team. Gets another knockdown onto Alpha7 player. Confirm that kill. Nicely done. Visit 2K. It's going to go down. Good thing is that Alpha7 was able to get the revive onto Senna. So they're still at least a three-man team. But when they're pinched now between two teams and realistically nowhere to go. What they're better off doing is just waiting in their position and hoping that they, don't get caught out. But just as I said, that two of their players get knocked down. One of them is confirmed, and Law is now the last player standing for his side. See, because he knows that Blue Bees are on the high ground up above. He knows that RRQ onto the other side. I was going to say the best that they can, or they could have hoped for, at least when they were a three-man team, is that Blue Bees and RRQ get distracted by each other. But again, if he's on his own, yeah, okay, in theory, there's a higher chance that RRQ and Blue Bees are going to get distracted by each other. But there's also that chance that because he's the last man standing, that he's just going to get caught out as easily. And he's got no... he's got no revival potential. Zeus and Abrupt Slayers fighting up onto the northern side of this phase 2 circle. It did center up quite nicely, essentially onto the mainland. Ronan is confirmed. Snaking their way through. 4 angry men are in the distance as well. Again, when you're looking for engagements in Sanhok, you really want to close them out super quickly. Futbolists have made their way firmly into the mainland. Again, without Kanina power, Painan realistically unoccupied. They would have known that RQ would have moved away from Painan relatively early. So it's a four-way dance. I'm not really going to include Alpha7, but it's a four-way dance for the center of the circle between Futbolists, RQ, and Bluebees. And Isaki is actually going to take down a member of Futbolists, knock him down to the ground, up onto the high ground area. Because they're still up as a full squad, they should be okay. Bluebees in the distance though, waiting in the wings. Lufa with a fantastic grenade pushing in, is able to get second knockdown. Now in comes XQX on his own. But again, pushing in on your own is not the right way to do it, Bluebees. God, you're aggressive, but you have to be aggressive as a team. Lufa is also going to go down at the hands of Futbolists. One by one, they're getting picked off. You cannot make those mistakes, guys. You cannot make those mistakes. Luckily, Lufa kind of created that distraction to the point where AJ was able to come in and at least get the revive on the XQX. Again, all that's done is it's given Futbolists room to breathe. There is still a third player, Bluebees, in the distance, looking to suppress the members of Futbolists, but in from behind, you're going to see Alpha7, the last player, Law, looking to find an opportunity to strike onto Mabo. Good stuff indeed. Ray J did get taken out, did get confirmed, so it is XQX on his own. RQ now looking to come in. Nice knockdown onto Solke. Roam's the last player standing, prone up, looking for a G9. Can't get spotted out. Can't get the knockdown. Does get spotted out, and that is going to be the end of Futbolists. So what was Futbolists' position is now RQ's position. But the thing is, do RQ have the information right? Surely they're thinking, this is just Futbolists smokes. This isn't Bluebee smokes. Yeah, they would have maybe seen it on the kill feed, but they, in theory, could have killed Blue. Oh my god. The smokes dissipates. XQX gets taken out, and that's the end of Bluebees. All the while, Law from Alpha7 has been able to survive this. Insane. But now in comes Team Secret from behind. Eye shots pushing in. They're on 5 kills so far in this game. Taking out Digital Athletics on Paradise Resort. They were on Paradise Resort and they wrapped around essentially on the outskirts of boot camp and coming in on the western side of the circle. That's a great rotation from Team Secret. Now they're looking to go ahead of RQ in this circle. Of course, they might not know exactly who else is inside this circle, but either way, I'm still really happy with how Team Secret are playing this rotation. Again, being down to 5 teams on phase 3 is not something you're going to see in competitive settings. So, of course, as always, there's way more landmass available for these teams to play around. RQ now is able to get another knockdown and a kill onto the members of Team Secret. This is training ground for aggression. This is training ground for engagements for all of these teams. RQ are on 9 kills. I repeat, 9 kills. 1 away from double digits as a 3-man team. And in theory, they're playing their sub senior in these scrims. He's been a consistent feature in these scrims. Don't believe he's been featured in the global championship. One would argue that maybe he should. But either way, getting this many kills as a 3-man team, sort of training that's good for RRQ. 4 angry men hold the center of the circle really nicely. It's not over yet though for Team Secret. Yeah, they lost a player, but they made their way up the hill, right? They're looking to maybe realize that aggression could be much better executed rather than playing passive and getting caught out. And that's where iShots is able to get a nice knockdown on the senior. Mantoy jumping up and down like a little bunny rabbit, looking for the snakes in the grass. G9 is low ground. iShots, he knows where iShots is. That's why he's looking to move, smoke, move and smoke, move and smoke. Highboy gets D2E. That leaves G9 as the last player standing. He's going to find iShots. He's staying in the smoke. Again, is he going to look for the revive? You should not look for the revive. You have to take this back a one-on-one. He's going to look for one in smoke to just shot come through. He finds one, but he is going to get taken out by the last player of Team Secret. And that's why when you push as a team. That's why when you push, you stick together and you use that man advantage. Nicely played by Team Secret, but it was also pretty well played by the side of RRQ. 4 angry men recognize that the side of Team Secret are broken, beaten, scarred, and indeed all it takes is one cheeky grenade from 4 angry men to confirm that squad wipe. We're down to 3 teams on phase 4. 3 teams on phase 4. And it shifts up north. Yes, it shifts away from 4 angry men, but only 3 teams left. There's so much land availability. There's so many buildings and compounds in play. This is going to be a slow finish. Bit anticlimactic? Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. Especially because it's 4v4 v1. You got Aerowolf Limax up as a full squad. You got 4 angry men up as a full squad. And then you got Alpha7 Law has just managed to, again, go unnoticed in these fights where so many teams around him were battling. And that's why I didn't feature him in the kind of 4 or 5 team battle on phase 2. Because it's not that I didn't think he was going to survive, but it was because I knew he couldn't fight as a one-man army, right? He couldn't engage. So he had to stay safe, and he's played to not necessarily his strengths, but played to his situation. But now, right now, he's in the center of the circle. He's able to get onto his sniper tower. Luckily, just before 4 angry men, in my opinion, have made their way onto these warehouses. Don't go for the shots. Stay prone down. Use that third-person perspective. Suck spot him out. I think that has been the case. Aerowolf Limax are looking distracted. Is going to be Law 7 coming in, getting knocked down onto Suck. Another knockdown onto Zingy. Picked off one by one. 4 angry men. Caught off guard, and Law, god damn it, you know what? He's taking the law into his own hands. He's Azaki and 33 Svan left standing. 33 Svan further back. He could look to get the revive onto one of the 4 angry men players as he chucks out smokes. Surely Saki has got to know that Law is on that sniper tower. The thing is, do Aerowolf know it? That's the thing. Do Aerowolf know it? Like, they know that Law is there because they... Actually, no, they wouldn't. They wouldn't know Law is there because they don't see the knock feed. They only know a player has gone down when it's a kill. So they don't know how many players are 4 angry men. They might have seen Law there. They might have seen a player 4 angry men getting knocked down. And now he's going to get spotted out Hazelnuts on the high ground, takes out the last remaining player of Law. Credit to him. Law on Alpha 7. Took a chance, took a risk. He could have stayed in that sniper tower. But that's what scrims are for. You take risks, you take chances, you test the waters, you test the limits. Talking about testing the waters, Aerowolf and are going to make their way onto the low ground water area of Quarry as they look to push in onto the side of 4 Angry Men. The good thing with Aerowolf pushing in onto kind of Law and the circle going away from Aerowolf is that allowed a bit more time for 4 Angry Men to get back up as a full squad. So as much as Law had done a great job of getting a couple of knockdowns into 4 Angry Men, he couldn't confirm the kills. Hazelnuts with the Car 98 does knock down one of the 4 Angry Men players. Sucks. It's a great angle that he's taken out. Potato comes in. That's going to be a Saki taken out. So 2 players of 4 Angry Men are taken out. It leaves 33 Svan and Singy left standing, although Svan does get taken out. Zingy's now going for the revive, but is time on their side. He has pushed it off onto Suk. He has to push in, but he can't push in too aggressively. He does know the player of 4 Angry Men of Aerowolf is knocked down. Now he's going to look for the pre-fire shots. He's going to come through. He's going to get taken out by Potato. And that's where maybe he should have waited. And that's going to be Potato coming in one by one, knocked off the perch. Aerowolf Limax claimed their second chicken dinner of the day in the PUBG Mobile Global Championship scrims. 7 kills for their effort in that game. Again, like we've seen the pattern across these games. You get a situation where you have 4 or 5 teams left standing in kind of phase 3, phase 4. A lot of landmass available, but at the end of the day, Aerowolf, they didn't take it for granted. They didn't presume they had this game. One, they were constantly moving, and yeah, were they forced to go on the circles? Unlike that final circle, yeah, but at the end of the day, they pushed in like super quickly. You know, super quickly. Really well executed from them. 4 Angry Men in second with 5 kills. Alpha7 in third with 2 kills. Team Secret in fourth with 6, 7, 8 kills. You had RRQ in 5th with 11 kills. You had Bluebees in 6th with 3 kills. You had Zeus Esports in 7th with 7 kills. You had Futbolist in 8th with 2 kills. You had Godsent in 9th with 0 kills. Abrupt Slayers in 10th with 0 kills. DRS in 11th with 1 kill. Digital Athletics in 12th with 5 kills. You had NAVI in 13th with 0 kills. You had RRQ Gaming or Archer in 14th with 3 kills. And you had A1 Esports in 15th with 0 kills. Man, those games were definitely aggressive. More aggressive than we've seen in previous scrims. I think that's part of the fact that, one, the teams are kind of getting to know each other a little bit more in the actual global championship. So, in theory, there's less to learn about the other teams and there's more to learn about yourself. And how do you learn about yourself as a team? You test rotations, you test timing of rotations, you test positioning, and you test engagements. Those are the kind of core, and communication, of course, mixed in with all of that. IGLing. You test all of that for yourself as a team. Should you be aware that in these kind of scrim situations, there's less teams in the late game? Yes, but that doesn't take away from the fact that as a team, you can learn something. You can nail down an engagement. You can nail down communication, a call, a push, a position, an angle, right? There's always something to learn from these games. And it was a great set of games. It was action-packed, it was entertaining, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Oh man, what a nice set of games. What a nice set of games. Oh man, so on that note, I'm not going to waste any more of your guys' day. I'm not going to waste any more of my day, so to speak. Thank you guys to everyone for tuning in. Again, ask you all to be polite, nice, treat each other with kindness. It's a crazy world we live in, and the best thing we can do is just take time out for each other. Look after each other, look after ourselves, and try and spread a little bit of positivity. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you to Sakumai for organizing these scrims. She is just a constant beacon of inspiration, in my opinion, in the PUBG Mobile community, not just in North America, but across the world. Thank you to all the other streamers that take the time out to stream these scrims for you guys, for the teams in their respective languages. And of course, feel free to give me a like, give me a subscribe over on YouTube. It's always appreciated. Follow me over on Instagram at EVT_ImPERium if you have any feedback, if you have any questions. I'll always do my best to answer. On that note, I'm going to end things there. I'm going to say have a great day, evening, night, wherever you are, and I'll see you guys soon.